What's up, guys, and welcome back to the 11th episode of the PokeMMO podcast. We've got a super cool guest today. His name is Frauts. If you haven't heard of him, get to know him because he makes awesome content. His streams are super engaging, and he actually has a PokeMMO podcast as well called the Yap Sesh, so make sure to check that out on his channel. Again, all links for my channel as well as his will be in the description below. If you want to check out the catch events as well as the forum posts and media of the week, please make sure to either check in the description below or just, skip to the end of this video, as I'll have all those. And there's a catch event that you are definitely not going to want to miss. Regardless, thanks for being here, and let's jump right into the episode. But basically, yeah, dude, first of all, thanks for being down to chill. I always like getting to know newer people in the community, and you've been doing some cool stuff with your podcast and everything.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I
it's been
loved it, seriously.
yeah, it's hard putting shit out there. It's a little nerve wracking.
Yeah, 100%,
especially
man.
especially when I like see how well yours is doing and everything like that. And I like watching them, and I was like hoping that other people, like when I started mine, I was like, oh, I liked his so much, and it's going to be hard to like compete with that. Even though you said that it's not really like a competition thing, but it's
Yeah.
hard not to.
No, it's fair, yeah. But the whole thing is like it's all about how we act, and I fully and firmly believe in the fact that like, whatever contribution is out there, if as long as it's helping the ultimate goal of like getting more people into the game, then like awesome. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was super cool. I actually had 2 or 3 teammates mention to me, they're like, "Did you see this? That Frauts YouTuber like started a podcast. It was pretty sick. Like they were excited about the guest you had. Like it really had impact, at least in my team. So genuinely
That's good.
great job with it."
That's good to hear. I like that. It's not really too well equipped at getting compliments, so I appreciate it.
No, I'm actually the same way. So I
Yeah,
try to give more than I receive,
yeah,
so I don't have to
100%.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So walk us through a little bit about introduce us to Frauds, bro. Who are you? When did you start playing? What are some of your goals?
So I started playing PokeMMO originally in 2012. Like it was in the alpha, I believe.
Yeah.
But back then there wasn't really too much to do. All they had was Kanto out, and
Hmm.
you couldn't even trade money at that point.
Oh, geez.
So the way the economy worked back in 2012 is lucky eggs were the economy.
Oh, wow.
So I remember back then I hunted in the Safari Zone for a Chansey, which was
Yeah.
just as hard to catch then as it is now. And then I caught one Chansey. Luckily, it had the lucky egg. It took me like an hour, which was extremely lucky. And back then, the common shinies were one lucky egg each. Like that's how much they costed. So I bought myself a shiny Crobat
Yeah.
with one lucky egg, and that's how I started back in Pokemon in 2012. Lost those accounts. Didn't start playing again until like 2023.
Yeah.
I hopped in and out of PokeMMO, but like never really stayed until 2023, and then that's when it finally stuck.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's crazy to hear. I know I like chatting my first team, chatting with the leader and co-leader. One of them was saying that she actually has screenshots too, but she lost a shiny Chansey in the Safari Zone while she was farming for lucky eggs.
That's
So
crazy.
it's crazy to hear like how far the game has evolved to the point where like, I mean, you think of a lucky egg right now, like you're not breaking the bank to buy one of those, but
Yeah,
it's insane that at one point they were close to or arguably like one of the most valuable items in the game. That's insane.
yeah. Like people would trade like 50 lucky eggs for like a rare shiny or something like that. Like that's how the economy was back then, just because um, there was no money, there was no yen trading. It was
Yeah.
like there's no way to do it.
That genuinely like blows my mind, dude.
Yeah,
What the
and
heck?
then I back then I don't think the shiny odds were public either.
Hmm.
So people were just like shiny people that were shiny hunting just like they didn't even know like how long they could possibly be in for.
Yeah.
So it
Dude,
was
that's crazy.
yeah. And I'll go back into like my I guess my content creation journey, which has been
Yeah.
that's been forever. I think like 2012 is probably 2010. I probably started doing some random stuff on YouTube,
Yeah.
like NHL 12, like Be a Pro Let's Plays,
Hmm.
like stuff like that. So I've been on and off of like doing content creation for pretty much most of my adult life, and
Yeah.
never really found any success until PokeMMO. I think just because it's niche and
Hmm.
not many people making content, so it's a little bit easier to get eyes on you.
Yeah, I mean that's still awesome though. Like at the end of the day, you still put in the effort, and regardless of if it's a niche or not, like it's pretty evident to see the effort that you put in, right? Like a lot of people, because there are definitely like content creators who have tried in PokeMMO and failed, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
it's a
so
lot.
it's
The biggest
yeah,
problem I think a lot of people have is just consistency.
hmm,
Um, Probably because there's not that much of like a reward at the end of it.
yeah,
So I think a lot of people will stream for like a month and then kind of get burnt out of either the game or like streaming in general and go
yeah.
their own way. And there's not too many consistent content creators in the PokeMMO space right now.
No, that's very true. Like it's and like you're saying, that's actually one problem I ran into pretty recently. Well, I had a lot of IRL stuff pop up, so I had to take a bit of a break. But even now, like sitting down and coming up with content ideas is not as easy as it is if you're playing Fortnite or if you're playing, NBA 2K or something like that. Like there's so many I feel like you have less options. It's more like role play or creating your own events or creating your own like basic like basically converting actual videos that YouTubers for Pokemon create for PokeMMO, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right? Like
100%.
and so like I've tried to do a few of those things, but yeah, man, there's so many little things like about PokeMMO that really make it kind of hard to build a channel for. And not only that, but stay consistent. So it's a nice little nice to know that it's not just me going crazy,
Oh no,
you
it's
know?
it's like one of the things I want to do is I want to make more YouTube content, but I'm not smart enough in this game to really like be putting out like guide videos or anything like that. So I feel if I were to come out and like make guide videos, it'd be disingenuous because if you're gonna ask me what I do on PokeMMO all day, it's just gonna be I'm sitting here brain off shiny hunting all day. And
Yeah.
so I don't have any of that like insight to any of the informational videos that you could put out. And then
Yeah.
as far as like anything else like that, I don't really see um or I have a hard time coming up with ideas for videos. So
Yeah. No, it makes sense, dude. And the thing is too is like well, one, I feel like your streams and stuff are fun. My favorite is still the kind of like it might be a basic pick, but that shiny Lapras in the Safari Zone. That
yeah,
literally, I was so freaking envious when I saw that. I was like, what an amazing thing to happen during Safari Week. How was
yeah,
that?
yeah. It was the biggest thing about Safari Week that I was most excited for is that the event kind of transcended teams.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like one team. Like most events that you see in this game, it's just like team hosted or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
there was a couple different teams hosting Safari Week. So like you've seen Mister there, you've seen Optic there, and you've seen Goon there, and like it was nice just to see other teams also hunting. Like even when somebody in Mister got a shiny, it wasn't just Mister people there watching them. It was like everybody else who was like shiny hunting in that area, or like
Yeah.
same with Optic and same with Goon. It was just like the whole community came together, and that's what I'd like to see more of, which the Shiny War has also kind of helped with that.
Oh, for sure. No, you're in a team for that, correct?
Yeah, I made a team. I have it's like 90% my team,
Yeah.
and then we included a couple FBAS members or FBAS,
Yeah.
and then an Optic member and a couple Rue members, I think. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Well, that's
so it's a
sick, dude.
kind of a mismatch of anybody who is available.
Yeah, yeah, no, it makes sense. I feel like it's like even for me, I'm not on the Pori teams. I joined the teams of like what is it, the Toyotathon people. It's like a bunch of friends that I had in an old team. So
Yeah.
it was like a pretty fun it's kind of like a hodgepodge of just like you said, who you can get together, but it's honestly like it's really, really fun because I've met so many cool people like you were saying, you shiny hunt and it's not like, oh, come spectate me, team. I got a shiny. It's like oh, like people are getting shinies left and right, and so it's fun to jump in and see another Cacnea because it motivates you to keep going. Like
Mhm.
that kind of sense of community is like why we play the game, I feel like, for the most part. And so seeing it explode into what Shiny Wars is turning it into is like a really positive thing, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Shiny Wars is one of the best things that's happened for the game in general. Um, you see a lot
Mhm.
of teams like because there isn't a live leaderboard or anything like that. You see a lot of teams like trying to hit each other up, like, "Hey, what are you at? I'll tell you if you tell me."
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, like I've gotten more ingrained with the community. One through streaming, and two just through like Safari Week and Shiny Wars. I've met
Yeah.
so many people through both of those.
No, dude, it's seriously super fun. And like I really really hope that PokeMMO the developers like see the kind of like love that players are putting, like streamers are putting in, content creators are putting in, and all of that for like Shiny Wars. And I really hope that it's rewarded with more events like that
Yeah.
because I think it was Jinx Boone was the last one I had on, and he brought up a really good point. He was saying it was something I hadn't thought of. He was like, "Yeah, it's really cool to see shiny hunters actually get an event for once."
Hmm.
And originally I was like, "Oh, well, like what about catch events?" But the more like I thought about it, it's the catch event is more so almost PvE, arguably, where you're trying to catch a high IV Pokemon. You're not going for a shiny. Like, you don't win anything if you get a shiny, right?
Yeah.
And
You just
so,
get the shiny.
yeah, which, and some might say you win, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like it's completely different. And so, for I would say the biggest part of the player base to be recognized and finally like thrown at event, like that's really, really fun. It's been super cool.
So I actually just got off recording a podcast with Park, like
Yeah.
the host of Shiny Wars.
Oh, no
And
way.
so yeah, so what he's telling me is that this is like now the plan is to have this as a yearly event and to improve upon it every year.
Oh, let's
So
go.
so that's super exciting to hear. Like
Dude, that makes
s-
me giddy, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
seeing that as a yearly event would be really good for teams and even for like stuff like this, like anything that can help us create more content can help us promote their game and in turn gets more people to buy RP.
Yeah,
Right?
100%. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things that's missing from PokeMMO becoming like a bigger game or a more well-known game
Yeah.
is we have like no content creators.
Yeah.
Like I think like I'm not super invested into the scene that much, but I think there's probably like under 20
Yeah.
consistent content creators that are actually really trying to do this more than just like a fun thing on the side.
Yep.
And I like the more we get, the more chance that like somebody's video hits. It doesn't matter whose, right? So as long as somebody's video hits the algorithm and pops off, then it makes it a lot easier for everybody else, and then makes it
Yeah.
easier to grow the community.
No, exactly. It's like and that's exactly my point. Like, even with what I was saying with the podcast, like it's something to where if you starting this podcast leads to your episode exploding randomly and bringing 20 more people to the game, like that's exciting. You know what I mean? Like all of
Yeah.
these little contributions, it's really interesting because I was really really intimidated whenever I started making content for the game because I'd never done anything like it before. I'm really passionate and nerdy about Pokemon, so I was like insecure to share that.
Hmm.
But whenever I started making content, I was worried that, all of these guys above me, like these giants that I used to watch, would like, try to squish my channel or try to like, oh, like let's look at his video. Cool, I'm gonna steal it and just like stomp on it. But
Hmm.
instead it was met with all these people like messaging me like, hey, great job on this. Like, wow, like who does your thumbnails? Who like so many little compliments and kindness from like all of these really really cool people that had way bigger channels. And so it's
Hmm.
like it's really really fun to see almost like the sense of community and like how wholesome the PokeMMO community really is deep down.
I think
It's
a
like
lot of
really
content
cool.
creators that started making their own content
Hmm.
did it because they probably wanted some content to watch on the game, right? And they're like, well,
Yeah.
nobody else is making it, so I guess I will. So when they see a new content creator pop up, they're like, yes, thank God somebody else is
Yeah.
making something for me to watch.
No, dude, that's 100% right. Like that's actually funny. My buddy who I like kind of attribute like my like my minute success to, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
obviously not this massive thing, but my buddy was like I remember talking to him and being like, dude, I'm so bummed. Like apricorns, or what is it? Johto just dropped, and like there isn't a guide for apricorns. Like it's been like 3 or 4 days, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just make one?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "I mean, I guess I could." So I made that little video. I was so insecure, dude. I recorded it. I have a nice mic because I went to school for like audio engineering stuff. And instead of using my mic, I was scared that my roommate was going to hear me. So I went into my closet with my phone and recorded the video because I was so shy about it. But it's just like, you know what I mean? And so I feel totally the same way. Like anytime a new PokeMMO video is posted, you get excited because you're passionate about it. And that's like, if we can keep that mindset, especially as content creators, like everybody wins, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like right now, nobody is in a position where they could do this for a living, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe Pat like is
Mhm.
the only person who can really say that they could do this for a living.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to gain from like putting others down or like trying to like make their success or be jealous of it or anything like that. There's
Yeah.
only to gain if like somebody pops off because the trickle down effect will be crazy.
100%. Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly. You know, freaking Jinxed Boone makes a video that explodes, which means more players are searching for Apricorn videos than they find my first video, which leads them to this podcast with you, which shows them your channel, which shows them, you know, the Shiny Wars forum post there, which gets them involved in the next Shiny War, right? Like it's
Yeah.
the freaking butterfly effect is crazy with this kind of stuff. So it's super fun to kind of like, you know, chat about the what ifs, and really like I'm excited to see PokeMMO grow because I feel like overall for what the game is and what it has to offer, it's still like not super well known. Like
Yeah,
I know
I
a
find it
lot of people
extremely
know, but
unknown.
yeah, dude. So I mean, even in person, I'm like a little missionary telling all these people, you know, you gotta try PokeMMO if you're a fan of Pokemon. Like it's really worth looking into. But
Yeah, in
yeah,
my opinion,
it's
it's the best way to play.
oh yeah,
Obviously, like there's things that you may prefer about the real games, or like maybe the lower shiny odds, or being able to like finish a shiny collection or something like that.
yeah,
But in terms of like how to play how to play Pokemon and like the community investment, like the way you can get invested into a community and stuff like that, like there's nothing close to PokeMMO or maybe the
yeah.
other Pokemon MMOs out there, but I'm pretty sure that this is the top one.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, I've looked into a few of the other Pokemon or Pokemon like MMOs, and not in like a negative way, because like obviously people have their preferences. I really didn't enjoy any of the ones that I've tried. The only one I'm excited for is the Pokeforce one, just
Yeah.
because it really looks like they're going hard on it.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think a lot of us, I know, like me, Pat, and Team Rocket for sure, all came from like an old school RuneScape background. So
yeah,
seeing all of the devs in that game, they're kind of making it like a bit of a mixture between old school RuneScape and Pokemon. So that'll be
yeah,
super fun to see how that works out.
yeah, dude. Even like I remember like because this is my first MMO ever. I remember Did you do the winter event, like the Articuno event for
No,
Christmas?
I completely missed it.
Yeah, so it was super fun. And again, with this being my only experience with MMO, the only grinding there really is like maybe apricorns, honey trees, and then like yen, right? Like
Yeah,
or item farming. But during the Christmas event, you know, I was doing all of these cool quests, which was super fun. And then I randomly started doing it didn't even help at all, but you had to do that one challenge where you like go and you mine, you know, like you spam like F or A or whatever it was to mine the ore. Then you have to leave the mountain and come back, and there's like a route you would run, and like just doing stuff like that that's kind of mundane, but it wasn't shiny hunting, was super refreshing because it's like, oh, now I need to keep using this pickaxe so I can get the master ball so I can catch Articuno. And it was like it almost created an aspect where like, oh, maybe you don't have to use your Pokemon for everything, you know? Like
yeah,
there are other aspects that to the game that they could add that remove the Pokemon aspect and almost add to yourself as a character and your personality that way, you know?
yeah. That would be huge. Like, as much as it is just a Pokemon game, like even in like the actual show or like the Pokemon world that's been created. Not everything revolves 100% around Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So it would be, if we're doing like a real MMO experience, then maybe there would be stuff that isn't 100% Pokemon focused.
Oh, no, 100. I think it'd be really healthy for the game too. Like again, it's the same like kind of clicking left left right on your computer, but
Yeah.
not doing encounters and doing something else actually just felt like I sound so psychotic explaining this game to people, but you know what I mean? It's like it kind of breaks it all up and makes it a really fun experience. So
Yeah. Well, I think the people that you'll be talking to or trying to convince will 100% get what you're saying, because you've got to be a little bit twisted in the head to be into shiny hunting to begin with.
yeah, dude.
So I think they'll understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah, it takes a real like group of masochists to like really enjoy this game, I swear. Like we all just love enduring 50,000 Pokemon with until one of them slightly pink, and then we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh!" You know?
Then it's the biggest pop off you've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. No, it's so funny. Speaking of like hunting and those things with wars, I'm not gonna. I want to ask for insider information, but how have you done personally in the Shiny War? Have you been able to contribute some points, or how has that been going?
Yeah, our team scores are public. I know
Oh, cool.
I haven't hit it at all, just because I don't think it matters. I know
Yeah.
some teams do, but I personally don't think that like what your score is that matters. It's all about just grinding it out and getting
Yeah.
there. So our team right now is at 338 points,
Oh, nice.
and I myself am at 49, I believe.
Oh my goodness. What have you been
I've
hunting?
I've been on a crazy wet streak. Let me check. I'll check my spreadsheet right now. So I started July 23rd. I guess the event started July 21st.
Hmm.
So July 23rd, I started with the Scraggy in 22,000 encounters.
Yeah.
July 25th, I hit a Cacnea at 19,000 encounters.
Damn, dude.
July 30th, a Cottony at 23,000.
Hmm.
August 2nd, I hit a Cryogonal at 8,000, a Venipede at 2,500. And then
What?
August 3rd, I hit a Venipede at 4,200. And then August 5th, I hit a Venipede at 11,000. So yeah, it's been
Oh my
one of the
goodness,
luckiest
dude.
streaks of my time in PokeMMO. So let me
Yeah.
check between
Good time to have
those.
it too, huh?
Yeah. So my average for shiny wars so far, not including the current hunt I'm on, is every 13,000 encounters I'll get a shiny.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. That's
So,
you're literally half odds.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
cracked.
it's been wild. It was super fun. It seems like it's going to slow down. I know eventually I'm going to have something that's going to make up for that. I'm going to have 150,000 long phase, but until then, we're riding it out and having a good time.
Oh yeah, no, it's always fun while it lasts,
Yeah.
like it's always nice to like I went and so yeah, I've had quite the opposite experience with Shiny Wars. I just barely like a few days ago broke my dry streak. I went like 60, like almost 70K dry, and then I got a shiny Combi from a honey tree, which was freaking exciting.
Oh, that's really sick. Male or
Yeah,
female? I guess you can breed it in this game, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, it was male, and for what was funny is it was male, but it was right next to a female Combi, so it kind of pissed
oh,
me off.
yeah,
But at the same time, like getting a Combi, like my whole like over encompassing goal, like one of them is to get a shiny Pokemon with it's like every encounter method, like
yeah,
fishing,
yeah. I've
honey
heard that.
trees. Yeah, and so being able to check honey trees off my list was huge because it's super expensive. But on top of that, like Combi from the honey tree was just kind of fitting, so I was
That's the big
stoked.
hit, right? Like that's the one. It's a honey from a honey tree. You take
Yeah,
that.
no, exactly. Yeah, we take those all day. It could have been
Yeah,
a Wurmple line, so I was ecstatic.
yeah.
But yeah, it was
And
sick, bro. It
I
was
assume
nice.
Combi is an exclusive from the trees, right? Like you
No,
can't get it any other way.
no. So you can get it in Unova, but it's a single encounter.
Ah, that's tough.
So yeah, so it's yeah, so it's like it was a little unfortunate because it's not like I think Burmy and Cherubi are the Honey Tree exclusives,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was like if you want to get a Combi, like you're gonna have to single encounter, and it's like I'm pretty sure it's an uncommon or like I don't think it's a rare, but mostly people get it repel tricking for what's it called? Heracross or I think Pinsir
Oh,
in
okay, yeah,
the Unova grass. So
yeah.
that's where most people get like the what's it called? Like most people get their combies from. But yeah, I had a guy in chat save my life because you know how you're not supposed to breed your Pokemon until
Yeah,
after. So I get it, and I'm like on top of the moon. I'm like, let's go, dude. I literally buy a Ditto breeder, and I like
just to
I'm
make it a
walking to
female.
the breeder thing. Yeah, and I'm like, let's go. I can't wait to have a Vespiquen. And my chat's like, wait, dude, no, chill, please. Like, don't do it. It was super funny, but it was it's pretty nice. So I'm planning on making it a Vespa Queen. I'm gonna name it Beyonce. It's gonna be pretty
That's
sick.
good. That's
So
good stuff.
excited, man.
So how many more methods do you have left, and what are they?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let me pull up my showcase. So I have a good amount left. So currently I'm like almost what you could consider dry. I've almost done my first 30,000 fishing encounters.
Okay.
So I've been doing fishing. Headbutting is another encounter method.
Yeah.
That one I'm gonna
That
hate
one's
my
brutal.
life.
That one is brutal.
Yeah, then there's egg shiny. I've done so many eggs and still haven't hit anything, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then there's the game corner, which I've actually done a good amount of boxes from the game corner. I've done like
Oh,
Porygon, Clefairy, but I think I'm gonna switch to Finneon and Sinnoh. So
so can you get shinies from the game corner, or do you mean you're buying them from the game corner and then egging them?
yeah, so you can get them if you purchase them from the game corner. I got it confirmed from Rage. If you purchase them from the game corner, they can be shiny and they can be secret shiny. So
That's interesting. That's really cool. I didn't know about that one.
yeah,
That's
dude. So they have a cool little like hatch location like inside of Celadon City or Veilstone City, but I just barely found out that you can get like the Kanto ones, you can get like Pinsir, Scyther, like really fun mons that you can hunt doing that. It's just really expensive. But I just barely found that in Veilstone in Sinnoh, like I was saying, you can get Finneon for the cheapest. So you can get it for like 2,000 of the rocket coins, which is
okay.
like it's a fishing. Normally, in order to get Finneon, you have to fish for it. So it's arguably almost like a more efficient way to hunt Finneon, which is cool. Um, so yeah, I think that's going to be my target. I was doing a lot of Clefairies. After that, though, we've got fossils. And what sucks about that is it's not like, oh, I break a fossil, then I can egg it. It's like, no, like the
You
fossil
got to get it
needs to
from the
resurrect.
fossil.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that one hurts. But I'm at funny little stat on that. I've popped 3,300 armor fossils, and so I've spent 23.28 mil. So
Yes, you don't need to do that math. That's just gonna hurt you.
yeah, no, it hurts. It breaks my heart every time I have to
Just
add to it, man.
you need some blissful ignorance there. Just like pretend like it's not that bad.
Yeah, no, it literally got to the point where I was like, I added it and we broke 20 mil on there, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna start farming my own. Like, I don't think it's gonna be worth it. But even then, like, you farm your own. Like, I farmed around 40 of them, and then I go, I go to like, hatch them all or whatever, and I go crack all the fossils, and it's like, okay, there's 10K, there's another 10K. Like, it
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
But so yeah, there's fossil, and then I'm counting Shedinja as its own encounter
I think you
method.
should. Yeah, it's a cool one.
Yeah, and then let's see what else we've got. There is also a swarm. So whether that's an
Mm,
alpha or any kind of swarm or like whatever, any like Pokemon you walk up to and interact with that starts an encounter. Um, and then there's one that I'm debating getting rid of. I do think I need it on there if I'm gonna like be doing it legit. Is the sealed product like what is it like
yeah,
Mystery Falls? That one just hurts. I think I'm gonna do that one last because it's like I don't know, like just swiping for it sounds kind of lame.
maybe
But
one day you'll be a big streamer, and then you'll have people just hitting you up, offering to give them to you. Like, please get it.
dude, I would love that. Maybe that's the goal is somehow make it as a big Pokemon streamer before I have to do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other two that make me want to cry are the phenomenon, like the phenos,
Mm,
and then the SOS method, which I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's like whenever you fish, you knock out the Pokemon and then they call for help.
okay, I didn't know they had that implemented in this game. I
Yeah,
guess I'm not deep enough in the sauce.
yeah, no, it's a very, very strange like mechanic. It's not efficient, doesn't help out really in any way. But it's like, for example, what's cool about it is like, for example, at the Love Disc spot where you can get Love Disc, Corsola, and Whalmer, and then like Mantine on lure. If you kill like those Pokemon, you can't get like Magikarp or Tentacruel on like with fishing there. But if you knock them out and they call for help, sometimes Tentacool and Magikarp can appear. So it's kind of
That one
like,
would be tough.
yeah, no, so it's very difficult because it's a rolled chance, and that's probably like the most difficult. I would say the ones that I'm not looking forward to the most are probably the SOS, the Pheno, then the sealed product. The other ones I feel like are achievable, even though they're gonna suck.
Yeah.
So
Do you have the Zoroa hunt included in there? Just because, like, I know it is like a 3x horde spot, and it's the same as
yeah,
that, but it is a little different.
so I actually did have it included, and then I was like, I don't know, like I've been fighting this mental battle of like, should I include it or not? I
Yeah.
think I should, but at the same time, like, I don't know, man. Like it really is the same thing as a 3 times horde, but the fact that you can run away from it and it doesn't sparkle might make it its own thing, you
So I
know?
guess you didn't see the news then.
Wait, what
There is a
happened?
there is a notification now. You can't run from it.
They added a notification for it?
Yeah, so I had somebody send this to me. It was from Billy.
Yeah.
So I had somebody send it to me, and it was a Chinese guy running into one and trying to run away from it, and he got the notification.
Oh my goodness. First of all, good for him for
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, he's probably crying tears of joy that it was
probably
implemented.
so happy that it was implemented.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
so
nuts
they
though.
finally added that. I'm not sure. I don't think they added sparkles, so
Okay.
I need to watch back the clip again. But I'm pretty sure there was still no sparkles. But at least now you can't run from it.
No, yeah, I mean that in and of itself is like a huge win, I would say.
I was telling everybody that was hunting here. I'm like, still don't just run away. Pay attention because who knows? Like,
Yeah,
don't take
exactly.
that risk.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one who tells you, then you run away from it, you know.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, dude, that's huge to know. I mean, in that case, I don't think I'll count it just because it is a little bit different, but it still is like you're using Leppas, it's a times 3 horde, and now if you like can't run away from it, like at least to me, but I mean that's one that who knows, maybe if I achieve some of these goals faster than I thought. Like I got Safari and oh yeah, so the ones I've done are 5 times horde, 3 times horde, single, Safari, and Honey Tree. Um, and so now that I've kind of achieved those ones, like if I achieve a few more pretty quickly, maybe I'll throw it on there as like a just to spice it up, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, well, you've got a lot of work ahead of you before you can even think about that one mattering. So,
Exactly, yeah. What
and are you going to
which
include raids?
oh I've had people ask me that, and I'm kind of just pretending that that mechanic it doesn't exist right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But we'll see how raids go. If you can farm them a good amount, I will add it on there. But if it's like I don't know, because like I had somebody say, okay, well, what about like the roaming legendaries? That's technically different, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like chill out. But but yeah, dude, it's just crazy. But what out of all of those methods, which ones have you used to get shiny Pokemon?
So I've done 3x, 5x, single, and Safari, I believe. I think that's
Oh,
it.
sick.
I'm a pretty basic shunter. I'm still new and broke.
No, I respect it, dude. You're if anything, you're smarter than I am with your money, so that's good.
Well, if I was smarter than you with my money, I would have some.
That's also a very good point. Yeah.
It's all gone.
Yeah. No, it's do you just like impulse buy or what is like the biggest money sink in this game for you?
Leppas, always
Just
leppas.
Leppas?
Yeah. I did the math earlier on what my Dragonite hunt costed,
Yeah.
and so it's 321,000 encounters.
Oh no. How
Let me
many
grab my
phases?
calculator. That was 8 phases.
Oof.
That was a rough one. My first phase 2 was 126,000. That one was
Oh my
brutal.
gosh.
So 321. 335 divided by 5. So I guess that one was, if I'm doing my math right, divided by 2 was 32,000 lepers.
Oh my goodness.
And then multiply that by about 780. So yeah, that was a 25 mil hunt.
Oh my gosh. And that's one hunt. Like
Yeah,
that's insane, dude.
yeah. So like, I don't know if you know too much, but I've been going. I kind of have like my own similar goal to your one of each kind of shiny, like one of each method.
Yeah.
Right now, my goal is to complete every dragon, get one of each dragon species.
Oh, awesome, dude.
Yeah. So it looked like I wanted some kind of like cool collection that was like tangible to get and you could like see it. And I found all the dragons. There's no actual egg hunts for them, and there's only
Yeah.
9 of them. So I was like, you know what? That seems like one I could do.
No,
So
yeah. And so is that like so whenever you say like all the dragons, is that like all of the dragon type Pokemon, or is it more so like
yeah,
the
anything that has the dragon type.
perfect? Okay. I'm trying to
And
think of which ones, what Pokemon. Do you have the list handy? I'd be
it's
curious now.
yeah, there's Dratini, Kingdra, Flygon, Altaria, Salamence, Garchomp, Haxorus, Druddigon, and Hydreigon.
Dude, that's a very like good list because you got like a single on there, you've got a lot of good hordes. Even like a lot because you've got like a lot of 50-50 splits or like you I mean even with Altaria there's some nice ones because you can get the freaking Swablu horde, you know. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, it's
nice.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
There's
that's
I
sick.
think 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, I think there's 3 that were 100% hordes. So those ones were really easy and possible to hunt off the list. The hardest one is the Bagon.
Yeah.
Um, but even then, it's not that bad. It's like a 24% single encounter, so it's not horrible.
Yeah, and you get the chance at not Rotom, but Beldum, which is cool.
Yeah, I've been saying for a long time that if I get the Beldum on stream, there's a good
Yeah.
chance I'll be banned the next day because I'm not sure what's going to come out. But
Yeah. Yeah, you're letting it rip. Any filter is being removed.
yeah, so if I hit that Beldum, it's gonna be a wild day on Twitch. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, if I just one day never hear from you again, I'll know what happened. My goodness. That's crazy though, dude. Yeah, I know that the bag on hunt, like a lot of people are not super big fans of like Lunatone and Soul Rock and like the phases in there. I actually really like some of the phases in there. Like I feel like you can phase and still be happy with some of them.
I guess I'll disagree with you on that one because I'm so tired of seeing those Lunatones, man. I've got 2 already.
Oh,
Um,
so you already have two single Lunatones or
yeah, yeah.
oof,
And
yeah.
I think like the main reason it's not that they're bad shinies. It's just that you can get them so much. Like you can get them easily
Hmm.
in other ways. Like you could get them both from 5x hordes, and same with Golbat.
Yeah, that makes sense because like I've had a similar experience. I was super pressed because throughout my entire like Poke MMO like time playing the game, I had only gotten horde shinies, but what would happen is like for a long time I would go for Muna or I would go for Love Disc and then I would take a break from it and literally within like 5 or 10 pulls I would get a shiny from like
Yeah,
the horde. And so it was starting to piss me off. But that happened with what was it? And then I get Dusclops after going like 60k dry, and I was like, okay, this is so dumb. And so because it was the second pull, I brought Leppas to use, and I pulled 2 times and got Dusclops, and was like, okay, this is stupid. So
yeah,
I go over to what's it called to route 120 or like the Absol route,
yeah.
and my buddies were hunting there, and I was joking around. I was like, nah, dude, it's easy to get singles. Watch this and I ended up pulling a Gloom at 2,000 encounters. But like, it was a Gloom, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
That's the worst part is like getting a horde shiny while you're singling.
yeah, dude.
So yeah, I've had that a couple times too. I've hit a Zigzagoon and a Cascoon in
Oh
Petalburg.
no. Yeah.
But I can't complain about my Petalburg luck anymore because I just recently hit the Slackoth.
Oh, dude, that's one of my dream ones.
Yeah, it was insanely lucky. It was before Wars, so I wasn't sure what I wanted to do because I didn't want to like use all my Leppas before Wars started. So I was like bouncing around. I was in Meteor Falls doing bag on,
Yeah.
but I was leaving and coming back so much, just like buying stuff and preparing for wars and selling stuff. So I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go there anymore." So I'll just like whatever. I'll just pop into Petalburg Woods because I wasn't even really gonna shiny hunt, but I was like, "Well, I got to stream and I'm gonna have to shiny hunt while streaming."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Whatever." I'll just sit in Petalburg Woods and hit the slack off. I was like, "All right, this is so lucky."
Dude, no, isn't that because that's more rare than Shroomish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so I think based on like just my little armchair math, I think it's like 5% Slackoth, 5% Trico, and like 15% Shroomish. So yeah,
Damn, dude.
insanely lucky.
No, that is so sick. Because that's like, what's funny is that's been my biggest thing is like, if I go to Petalburg Woods, it's going to be for Trico and Slackoth. Like, I'm not a huge. I think Breloom is a great shiny. I think it's very valuable. And like, there's a reason it's valuable, and I respect that. But like, I don't know if it's maybe just some insecurity or desire to be different, but I'm like, I want a different catching Pokemon than like I use a Vigoroth right now. And
Oh
so
yeah,
to me, dude, like building out a one with Yawn, False Swipe, and the little pink sloth, I would lose my mind.
yeah, that would be super sick. And
Jeez.
it's crazy how cheap they are for how rare they are.
Yeah.
I looked up how much, like, just because like that's kind of how I do a little bit like of a value of my shiny, like, oh, is it rare and like valuable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the Slackoth was only 8 mil.
No way.
Yeah. And I'm like, that is so insane for a 5% single hunt only. Like it's on the same level as like starters.
Yeah.
And it's only worth 8 mil. I was like, yeah, that's kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. GG on that one, bro. That's freaking sick. I'm like way jealous of the little pink sloth. Are you gonna Evo it or are you gonna keep it the little dude?
I think I gotta keep it just because it like the other shinies just aren't as good. And that one's
Yeah.
just so nice.
It's so clean. The little my favorite is like the little bum that it
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
Dude, it doesn't it change colors too? Hold on, let me see if let's see if I'm pulling these up right now.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
so
that.
if you go look at its butt, the butt gets like more pink.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny, dude.
Yeah, the
But
back sprite is really, really good.
yeah, that's okay. Here's another little segue kind of thing. My like, I think so many people, like maybe this is just me, but for example, like look up Licky Tongue, right? On the
Yeah.
GTL. Are you on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
always something.
Yeah. So yes, sir. So look up Lickitung, look up his shiny, right? And you look at the front sprite, like it has some of those weird missing pixels. It's been like it's not the best shiny. I really like it because it's gold. But if you turn it to the back sprite, it looks so much better. Like
Yeah, I
look how
do have a
derpy.
problem with what you're talking about though,
Oh,
is
do you
I use the HD sprites.
Oh,
Oh,
how
the Gen
dare
6 sprites.
you?
Yeah, I know that pisses a lot of people off.
No. Oh, jeez. Well, you
Here's my
gotta. Yeah, go
here's my
for it.
reason.
Yeah.
I don't like Gen 5's art style at all.
Hmm.
So I would use like Gen 3 or Gen 4 sprites, but
Yeah.
they just don't have them for the Gen 5 Pokemon, right? So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I want it all to be uniform and like all the same, but I
Yep.
really hate the Gen 5 sprites. I don't know what it is about that 2.5D that I cannot stand it.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so interesting to me because
I know
that's
it's
like
a
my
very
favorite.
unpopular take. Yeah. I don't
No,
know
I
what it
respect
is.
it though.
It just hit me at the wrong time, I guess, and I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, I do think that there's something like incredibly charming about like Gen 2 like Pokemon Crystal sprites for me are like my all-time favorite, but for some reason it doesn't work well in PokeMMO for me. Like I have like worked with Shamo Runner and all those guys on that 2D sprite mod for the Crystal
Hmm.
ones, and I think it's awesome. I think it's a great passion project, but like I would never personally use it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, like some of the Gen 3 sprites, or even like Diamond and Pearl sprites, there was something kind of charming about like the slight little animation, or like, think of like Snorlax, like how bouncy they were,
Yeah.
almost, versus the simple animations that they have right now.
Yeah, I think like it was probably just because like that's the perfect age for like when I was playing Pokemon, but like Gen 3 is just it just hits like crack for me. That's my favorite
Yeah.
gen and it's not even close.
Well, no, I mean, 100%, like it's amazing too. Like I feel like playing through Ruby for the first time was probably my like the first Pokemon game I remember playing was Pokemon Crystal, but I
Yeah.
was just, I was ass and so I didn't know what to do and I like I just got lost and caught Pokemon I thought were cute and then got shit on by everyone. And so, but moving on with like, I think my first game that I actually like locked in and had like a really good time and like built a good team and was stoked about was probably Ruby. So I definitely
Yeah,
get your point.
yeah, it was 100% that for me. I remember I played Pokemon Red. I'm
Yeah.
aging myself a little bit there, but I played Pokemon Red, and I was still like too young. Where like I don't think I ever beat it.
Yeah.
I think I probably just like restarted it a bunch of times because like I
Yeah.
got stuck somewhere and didn't know what to do. But Ruby and Sapphire is where I sunk an insane amount of hours. I still have like vivid memories of leveling stuff up on Route 113 with like the Roselia because they
Oh,
gave
yeah.
a whole bunch of boosted XP. So like whenever I would like level up Pokemon to try and finish the decks to like level evolve them and stuff like that, it was always at that spot.
That's so sick, dude. Yeah, no, it's so fun to like I don't know, to hear people's stories and stuff. Again, I'm a huge nerd for Pokemon, and I feel like we all are. Of course, I need to like stop saying that because it's like I'm talking to other massive
Yeah.
nerds for Pokemon
Yeah.
too. But it's like for me, it's I never. This is gonna make me sound really pathetic, but like I never had friends that played, and so
Yeah.
it's so fun to hear about all of like for example your experience with like that certain route,
Yeah.
or hearing people's favorite Pokemon for this reason or favorite shiny for this reason. Like just and that's a huge part of I feel like the appeal PokeMMO has, like almost coming full circle with all that. Like it's really, really a fun way to get to know like-minded people. And it's
Yeah,
just it's
a
fun to party.
100%. It's like it's crazy how many like similar experiences you hear from just like everybody else because they were the same like dorky kid that you were and
Exactly,
like
bro.
got into it the same way.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're
A kind of
the
random story I have though.
yeah.
There's an older guy on my team. I think he's in his 50s,
Okay,
and
yeah.
he never played Pokemon before PokeMMO, which I know is like super like
Interesting.
it's pretty
Yeah.
rare. But I guess he was playing 2K with probably some younger guys just because like not too many older people are gaming.
Yeah.
And they hopped on this game and got him into it. So he learned Pokemon the first time through PokeMMO.
No
And
way.
all of his friends stopped playing and he's still playing.
Dude,
So
that's
he's like
wild.
yeah. So like the people who got him into it stopped playing and he's still just been grinding and
That
his
homie's just
showcase
on
is
his
like
grind.
20, I think now. It's probably
Oh,
like 20
jeez.
or so shinies.
Well, that's freaking sick though, dude. Like that's I've never met anyone whose first experience was this game. Like that's
Yeah,
insane to hear about.
it's super cool.
No, that is super super cool, man. Like it's cool. This is my only regret with this game is that I didn't find out about it sooner cuz I'm one of those like starry-eyed kids that's like, "Oh yeah, I really want the ghost costume. I'll have it one day."
Yeah.
And so it's hearing that is like I don't know, man. It makes me wish I got on so much sooner so I could have enjoyed the game.
Yeah, well, for me, it's seeing shiny showcases in the Pokemon Zone, like shiny leaderboard.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times where I'll look at that and like see people that have been playing since 2012, and I'm just like, man, what my shiny showcase could look like right now if I played that entire time.
Yeah, dude. Or even being one of those people who like, like I met this guy, like on the same topic of that. I met this guy who was what was it? He had the candy. So my big vanity goal right now, I've been doing a ton of Lepas and stuff to get the candy cane backpack.
Okay.
Um, because long story short, I've always been I'm a ginger in real life, and so I've always done like like the gingerbread characters.
Okay.
And so, um, anyways, I just thought it'd be funny to have the gingerbread outfit with that. And so I like saw this guy who was fishing next to me at Barboach, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, sick vanity. One day I'll have it, and we'll twin with like the crying faces, like a joke."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Oh, you like the candy cane?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." And he was like, "Oh, well, how much are they? I can probably get you one." And I was like, "Well, dude, like, I was like, I'm not gonna accept that. Like, that's way too much money." And he was like, "What do you mean?" Long story short, come to find out, this guy had been a very, very big. Like, he downloaded PokeMMO for the Christmas 2015 event,
Oh,
played
okay.
that, got the Holly hair clip, some of like the Santa's helper outfits, like a few things. We calced it out. He had no idea that he's just sitting on like hundreds of mil. And
I
it
wonder
was
if
the
that.
funniest thing.
I wonder if that's the same kind of guy who sold the Electric Storm. Had no idea that he
Probably.
was like just sitting on an absolute gold mine
Yeah, he's like,
and
"Oh,
just
well, let me
dropped
just
it.
list this." Yeah. No, dude, and so I walked through it with this guy and I was like, I I helped him price check every single little thing. And I was like, "Listen, bro, like people some people can suck, so just do not
Yeah,
let people talk you out of it. Like don't gift anyone anything without like looking it up first." Because he was like, "Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know this was worth 200 mil." And I'm like, "Bro, like
yeah,
it's so funny though, but he made this joke that made me feel guilty because I didn't want him to think I was just trying to like swoop it. But he was like, "Yeah, well, honestly, he's like, I don't have too many goals in the game. Like as of right now, I'm just kind of trying to get my favorite Pokemon to level 100. Like, it's such a wholesome guy. He's like, but
yeah.
who knows? I might get burnt out of it, and you might just see the candy cane in your box. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So you're just sitting there
So,
one day, every day walking in, hoping, seeing
yeah,
the mail icon.
dude, there have been a few moments where I'll get on and like a team member will mail me something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this the day? you
I
know?
had a similar experience.
Yeah.
Recently, John Lucky. I don't know if you know who that is.
Uh-uh.
He is the probably the PokeMMO goat. He has
Yeah.
3 shelf of starters, like one of each.
Oh, I've heard about him. Okay, yes.
Yeah. And he recently found my YouTube videos. I don't know how, because like one, YouTube's not even allowed in China.
Yeah.
And he recently found my YouTube videos, sent me like he commented on my videos in broken English.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, how can I add you in game? I want to play with you." So I just think it's like some like cute noob like trying to play or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I was like, "Oh," I sent him my thing. He mailed me from the John Lucky account. I was like, "Oh, like I just assume it's like a John Lucky fan account, right? Like so somebody
Yeah.
who just like wants to be like John Lucky." And then I go and look and I go and check Billy, and it's actually him. I'm like, wait, what is going on? Why is like one of the most richest, prestigious players on PokeMMO randomly find my YouTube videos out of all people? Because I'm one of one of the smaller YouTube creators in the space right now. I'm like, why me? Like,
Yeah.
what happened here? And then so he gave me like 50 goodie bags from last year. He's like, open them. I'm
No
like, all right.
way.
And then
Dude, that's so sick.
he gave me a white plague doctor mask.
What?
Yeah, and then, like, he said like, he was talking about, like, how he was, like, drunk or really drunk, so I, like, messaged him the next day, I'm like, "Hey, man, just so you know, you gave me, like, a shitload of money. Um,
Yeah.
let me know if you want this back." And he's like, "No, you're good." And then I went and checked, and it's like, oh, he's got shelf of starters, and he's, like, breeding pumpkins.
Yeah.
That he's not gonna miss this 39 mil that he gave me.
No, and yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing is like if you were someone who grinded the first event and you're sitting on like even like 2 or 3 ghost costumes or something, like you're set. You can do
Mhm.
whatever you want the entire time. Like you have zero issues to worry about. It is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've recently gotten into investing now. I know
Yeah.
it's a little late, a year into the game, it's time to start investing. But
Mhm.
my goal now is to have one of each sealed product.
That's awesome.
So I'm missing 6 now, and of course they're the like stupid expensive ones. But
Oh yeah. Which ones are they out of curiosity?
uh, once again, we'll learn how much of a nerd I am. I'll check my spreadsheet.
Dude, I
I'm
love it.
missing the Christmas present from 2015 and 2016.
Yeah.
The goodie bag from 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2019, but everything else I have.
That's crazy. I mean, it
I
makes
made a
sense, like, why
huge
those are hard
snipe.
to get, but
I made
you
a
made a
huge
huge
snipe
snipe?
getting the 2017 Christmas present.
Yeah.
I was just randomly looking them up and like I was like getting ready to buy one, and there was a bunch up for 9 mil, and then there was one up for 6 mil for 1 minute, and I was like, wait, is
No
this a snipe?
way.
Like I was like, this is like one of those things that looks too good to be true. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna send it, and I just bought it and found out that it actually was like a 3 mil snipe. I was like, oh, that's huge.
No, that's freaking insane, dude, what the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah. So like an accidental snipe, and I was like, all right, I guess we take that.
Yeah, that's when you post in, like, the team chat, you're like, "Dude, you're crazy, how do you flip?" You're like, "I don't know, man, just sometimes you get lucky." You know?
Yeah. Like
So
I don't know what
funny.
the odds are that like the 1 minute I'm looking to buy like sealed product, there's just one that went up 3 mil cheaper than everybody else. So like I'm not even sure who would be looking at that or who would know like the exact margins off the top of their head because
Yeah,
the flippers are insane though.
yeah,
I don't know how they know like what stuff goes for just like off of like base value. And I'm like, that's yeah, I
yeah.
can't believe it. they'll like
Yeah,
be,
dude.
oh, what do you mean you don't know that this egg group with 1x31 in speed goes for this? I'm like, I don't know how you have all that information in your head,
Yeah.
but good
You're
on
like,
you.
what do you mean you know that, dude? Like, what do you like? It's one person who blows my mind. I'm sure you've chatted with him. Is Epoch?
Yeah,
Have you chatted with that guy? Is crazy.
he's
He
a freak of
flips
nature.
so much, and it just blows my mind. He's always like, "Yeah, dude, if you ever like want to learn how to snipe, like let me know." But I feel like he'd get so impatient with me because I'm so every time I've tried to flip, except for event season, I've always lost money. Like
Yeah.
without fail, every single time. It's pathetic.
My biggest problem that I'm having with flipping is I'm just not patient enough.
Yeah.
I'll make a serious attempt to flip, and I'll probably have the GT open for 2 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? Nothing good's coming. Like,
Yeah. Maybe no one's on right now. I'll just try later. Then you do it
yeah,
3 months later.
for 2 minutes again, and I'm like, nah, still nothing. I guess.
Yeah, no, it's so funny, dude. I literally feel like we're the same in that way because
Yeah,
I can sit here looking at the same 5 Pokemon in the grass for 7 hours straight, but the minute I have to like click refresh on the GTL, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a waste of time.
yeah. I don't know what it is. It must be just like the AFK part of it that like makes it bearable to me. But
Yeah,
there's nothing else in this game that I can do that like people do all the time. Like I have yet to find a moneymaker that I don't despise.
yeah. Have you tried
So
Leppas?
I Lepas are a really good idea. The only
Mhm.
thing is I just don't trust myself to not kill them.
Yeah, no, it happens for sure. Like it's
Yeah.
something everyone has to go through, but it's like dude, right now I'm literally running through a region on another alt right now. My goal is to get to 6 characters because I have 3 done.
Mhm.
But yeah, like even if you just buy the seeds, like you can make like 1 to 2 mil every single day with 6 characters, and then you can scale that up to 10 characters or 12 characters, and like it just like the ceiling for that. If you're willing to get on and like spend the time you would be shunting, like doing leppas, it's boring. But bro, if you turn on a TV show or like an anime, it's just like at least for me, I'm a huge weeb, so it's like
Yeah.
I sit down, I start a new anime series, and I grind for like 30 minutes as of right now to do. It takes like 30 minutes, almost like 10 minutes a character to like plant and water.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, like if you're interested in doing that, it's totally worth looking into because it's a like that to me. If you're willing to do that every single day, like gets you a very good amount of cash to play with. So it's super
Yeah,
fun.
even if I didn't sell them, it would just save me money on buying my own lepus.
No, yeah,
Like,
exactly,
worst
dude.
case scenario.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you
I
seen
know
randomly? Have you seen the not to cut you off? Have you seen the pump action weighing self sufficient one? His method?
I have I have not, but I do have a friend in one of my old teams that made a school project, and it was like a PowerPoint on lepa farming and PokeMMO.
No way.
Yeah, so
That is so
it's
funny, dude.
probably fairly similar. I would imagine it's along the same lines,
Yeah. No, so
where
this
it's like,
one, yeah, this one's genius, dude. Like he broke this down because the video I have on my channel is better for profit after doing all the numbers. Um, but if you let me see this, you find your account here. I'm gonna send you this forum post.
yeah,
That guide, if you look at this, he explains very simply what you can do, and it has um basically if you get 6 characters, you want to scroll to where it says best lepa method fully self-sufficient. If
yeah,
you're like blowing through lepas, you will save so much money on this because it gets to the point where all like you make so many seeds that you have extras, so you end up getting extra full harvests of like basically you're spawning an entire six
yeah.
accounts worth of leppas like out of thin air because you put in the time before. Like it's
Oh, yeah,
super nice.
yeah, it's the same idea as the PowerPoint I seen.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it must be like a fairly common thing to do, but yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
no, it's sick.
the way that people have gamed like the system in PokeMMO and like solving stuff like that, it's just so cool, and I'm
Yeah.
envious that they have like the brain power to do stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Like after a
Like,
long day of work, I come home to turn my brain off. Sometimes I'll
yeah,
make a video, but To sit
Yeah,
down and figure that out, jeez.
Jinxed is one of one of the coolest people that I've seen, like in
Yeah.
terms of doing like that kind of content and like solving stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
I actually found him because of your last podcast,
Oh
and
really?
I was like, all right, let's go check this out. I set up my gym rerun team because of him,
Yeah.
and starting to look into other stuff. But
No, his advice is amazing, dude. Another really good resource I'm sure you know is Cav. He's the one who did like the Ho-Oh rebattles and all of like the raid guides. Like he's the one who
mhm.
kind of troubleshot and like he doesn't get as much love as he deserves. Like that guy puts so much effort in. He made this, what is it? It's Rotom Heat, Lunatone, and oh my gosh, what's the third one? And Chandelure. Like I think he got it from Billy, but he got this method that, dude, you seriously, like he gave it to me to just try it out. I beat the Ho-Oh fight so quickly. I literally immediately invested and like made my own Ho-Oh rebattle team. It was like the easiest thing, and then he breaks up down the numbers where it's like, yeah, dude, you can sell legendary lures for like 25K. So every single week, like if you have multiple accounts, you get 3 of those. You're basically getting 100K per account per week. Like
Yeah,
it's not a lot, but it takes 5 minutes, you know.
yeah, it's just little stuff like that, right? That eventually, because like the way the game works is the rich get richer, right? Like you
Oh
need money
yeah.
to make money. So like if you need that like initial like capital to get
Mhm.
started, something like that is like a super good way to do it.
Oh, 100%, dude. And it's one so that, and then on top of that, it's like um something he was telling me too, and one of my buddies has done this, is he was like, yeah, dude, if you save legendary lures, just wait till they drop the next roamers and you're gonna
Hmm.
be chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Or
they
even
sell
like
so
waiting until
quick.
Zapdos month, right? Because that's when
Oh yeah.
everybody's like that obviously won't be as big as a new legendary,
Uh-huh.
but for Zapdos, I know that's when a lot of people get out there hunting.
Oh no, for sure. It's so smart, and like finding those little like holes in the GTL, or finding the little like little tricks like that while they work temporarily is like so fun. It's crazy that people can, like people like Jinx can see that and spend a few hours just like doing all the math and getting it all done and being like, and then just like, I don't know, it just blows my mind every
Yeah,
single
some of the
time.
people that like the amount of time that they can put into like really playing the system in this game, it's astounding to me because
Yeah.
I know most of the time what I'll do is I'll come home from work and like unplug my brain, watch some absolute slop on YouTube while I shiny hunt. Just
Dude,
like
I'm the same way.
just like pure garbage that's just like rotting my brain away. But I'm like,
Yeah, dude. No,
you know,
I'm one of those people who comes home and I throw on like the Meat Canyon or Papa Meat videos, and I'm just like vegetating, just sitting
yeah,
here. You know,
yeah,
it's so
100%.
bad.
I've
But
I actually, since we're on the topic of anime,
yeah,
I'm a fairly big anime noob. Like
yeah,
I've probably got like maybe like 20 series watched,
yeah,
and I know that's nothing compared to the true degenerates of the genre. But I recently started watching Dragon Ball for the first
yeah.
time. Like I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid and stuff like that, but never
Uh,
like in order because you never see shows in order back in the 90s.
yeah.
So I started watching Dragon Ball recently, and I'm excited to get into that.
No, dude, that's freaking sick. I've actually never seen any Dragon Ball. I've never seen a
Really,
single episode of Dragon Ball. I'm a fake
that's
fan,
crazy.
dude. Yeah. It's every time I tell people that, it's like I haven't seen Berserk and I haven't seen Dragon Ball, and they're like, "Okay, well, what are you even watching?" It's so funny, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like I feel like my taste for the anime stuff is pretty basic, and I like a lot of like um more of the super highly animated like movie ones, like Weathering with You or like Your Name, stuff like that. Like those
Okay.
animes to me, I like more slice of life kind of showing off Japan
Yeah.
is I've really gotten into recently. But again, I'm basic. I love Demon Slayer. I've loved Naruto growing up and stuff, so
Naruto is one that I know I piss people off with, but I cannot stand that.
Hey,
I
I don't
watched
blame you.
I
Yeah.
watched like 83 eps and I was like, no, like I have to stop doing this. Like every time I put it on, I'm just like waiting for the episode to be over.
Yeah.
And it was
You're
like I've heard that Shippuden is where it gets like really good, and the kid season, like the original Naruto, is like
Yeah.
it's like okay, but like most people just like it's mostly nostalgia that
Yeah.
carries it, I think, because it's
Yep.
more kid focused and people watched it when they were a kid.
Yep.
But I couldn't get past. I tried watching it and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
No, I actually 100% respect that because it's 100% nostalgia based. Like it's even for me, like I really love Naruto. Like my bag that I take to the gym is Gaara's like gourd, if you know
Yeah.
that
Oh,
character.
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so it's like but I fully admit it. Like anyone who tells you Naruto is still good is completely lying to you. Like it's
Yeah.
super slow, it's super boring. It's just like it's an old anime, you know, like it is what it is, but at the same time it's yeah, there are better ones to watch right now. Like
My
you can
number
spend time
one
better.
is like I obviously haven't watched many, but Vinland Saga is
Really? I haven't seen that one.
that one's so good. Especially if you're into like Vikings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. It's I like um the difference between season 1 and season 2
Yeah.
in just like the pacing and like everything like that. It's definitely my favorite one. I can't wait for more seasons to come out.
Dude, I mean that's cool to hear. I've had a few people recommend it to me, but I was like, oh, like, you know, my thing is I have a few like I'm like a wannabe degenerate, like I'm working my way up there, but I have some friends who, you know, you give them any genre, like one of those people you play the first 2 seconds of the theme and they can tell you
Yeah.
exactly what show it's from, right?
Well, they know like the upcoming releases for the
Yeah.
year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. Like that to me freaks me out. They're like, I can't wait for, you know, like one that I've been watching that's actually super funny, really stupid show. Like I would never recommend it because it's so unintelligent, but it's what is it? My dear friend Nokaton.
Oh, okay.
It's literally just about this like nothing makes sense in the show, but it's just like about this deer person essentially. And like I didn't know what it was, but one of my friends is like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this show. It's about like this girl that's a deer." And like they reference all and I'm like, "What are you doing with your life?" Like do you ever
how do you have that like where you're waiting for?
Yeah, I'm like, "Bro, are you okay? Like this isn't healthy, man. Are you good?" You want to talk about it, bro? But it's like it's yeah, so it's my with Vinland Saga and all these ones, I have like a list of around
Yep.
like 130 animes just in my watch list and it makes me want to throw up looking
Yep.
at it.
Same. I have the same problem because we like probably have like the same degenerate friends that are like, you got to watch this one, you got to watch this one,
Yep.
you got to watch this one, and you're like, man, I do not know what to watch. So I've started watching a lot of like the shorter ones just so I could like knock some off my list.
Yeah. No,
Um,
exactly, dude.
I know Haikyuu had me by the balls.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorite ones ever. It was like one of my first animes that I really like got into, and
Yeah.
yeah, that one's absolutely perfect. I never played volleyball. I played a bunch of other sports during school, but
Yeah.
volleyball was never one of them. And now it just like makes me wish that I did.
Dude, I've seen I think so that's one I've started recently and I've watched I think the first season and I'm loving it so far. So, does it like stay pretty like consistently good? Does it fall off?
It gets better.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
just more like you get more invested, and
Yeah.
it's like it's pretty much the same all the way through, but you just get more invested and there's more like storylines. You meet more characters from like other schools and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and there's even like side series where like right now we're focusing like probably where you are, you're just focusing on the one school.
Yeah.
But like there's like side series where it focuses on other schools that like are
Oh,
in the
no way.
prefecture and stuff like that. So you like then you could go back and watch like the ones where they're playing that school, and then instead of just cheering for the one school because that's where the protagonist is,
Yeah.
you start having characters from like other teams that you like too. So
Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, I mean that is really cool. Like giving you more people to root for and more like stories to invest in is really really cool. So, I'm honestly excited cuz that's always like I don't know if you've seen Black Clover, But
Nope.
dude, I loved the first season of Black. If I could go back in time, I would I would lie to myself and tell myself that Black Clover only has one season because it is a phenomenal story. Long story short, it's this guy who you've probably seen the character, but it's like typical story of like a bunch of wizards, and it's a kid that's born without magic. But
Okay,
then
yeah,
he's chosen by this like demon that gives him a blade that's like anti magic, so it can like reflect and absorb magic. And so he basically like just gets yoked. It's one of those where it's like homie just gets jacked and then like uses this massive like anti-magic claymore against actual wizards. It's really cool, but like it turns into, you know, in Naruto it's like there are some fights that are really cool, but then it turns into like flashback after flashback, and it cuts
yeah,
to like, or like, you know, this guy's like, no one's ever survived this move, then he uses it on Naruto and like the shark like bites him in the butt and he's like, ow, that hurts. It's like really childish.
yeah.
It's like that's what Black Clover kind of devolves into. And so
That's
I was
tough.
sad. And so, but it like slowly got worse and worse. So I'm always like skeptical, especially with older shows like Haikyuu or whatever. Like I know that one is still like it has some recent stuff, but it's just, yeah, like looking, I'm always just a little skeptical, I guess, is what I'm trying to say with those.
Yeah, yeah. Like in my opinion, for Haikyuu, I think the show stays consistent at least.
Yeah.
Like maybe it doesn't get better, but you just get more invested, so it seems like it's getting better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
That makes
it's
sense.
it's my girlfriend's not really like super into anime, but that's like one of them that she's like really like too.
Oh, well, that's sick. Yeah, it's nice too to be able to like watch anime with your girlfriend too, like find common ground, I'm sure.
Yeah. Lately, we've been watching a lot of like serial killer shows and stuff like that because that's what she's into. So
Oh yeah, yeah, like the girl thing. Then she's like, "I'm scared to walk to my car," and you're like, "Yeah, I wonder why."
yeah,
I'm scared
since
to walk you to your car, bro.
you
What?
watch all that you watch all that serial killer stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had so I'm starting a new job here soon, but for a while I worked at this place where it was like a sensory deprivation like float spa.
Okay.
And super weird. Like you basically float in water in like this massive egg, and
Yep.
is like the simplest way to describe it. There was this girl that came in, and she was like, "Oh, like I love listening to like true crime podcasts in there, like in the pitch black, like floating."
Yeah.
And she came out one time early and was like, "I don't know, I just like couldn't get comfortable." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And in the back of my head, I'm like, "Yeah, well, no shit." It's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? You're listening to how someone got murdered in the pitch black, like just floating. It's horrifying.
Even
But
just the idea of like floating in the pitch black is like terrifying to me.
yeah, dude, like I leave the lights on when I did it. I was like,
Yeah.
come on. But anyways, it was just kind of funny. That's like what it reminded me of. But no, it's super fun, dude. Like I could just talk about, if anything, we should just start a freaking anime podcast because each
Yeah.
episode would be 4 hours long.
100%. It's so easy to talk about, right? Like
Oh my
especially because
gosh.
there's no shortage of stuff to watch. Like
Nope. Yep.
I don't know what it is about anime and like how they can release so much and like so much of it is actually so good. Whereas
Yeah.
like here, there's a good chance that like some of the series that are going to come out are just not going to be good or they're
Yep.
going to be executed poorly or like something like that.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, like I'm a big Game of Thrones fan.
Yeah.
And like just seeing how bad the end of the series was, just like it's like man, like I wish that it could have been adapted into like an animated show instead.
Dude, Game of Thrones as an anime would have been crazy.
Yeah, it would have been like, especially because like you have that problem with like actors wanting to move on and stuff like that, and it being like a big thing. Whereas like with anime, you don't really have to worry about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like even
It's
you can find a voice actor who sounds similar, you know.
yeah, and even then, like if they don't, it's like I can get over that. At least the character still
Exactly.
looks the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like, and plus what's nice too is I feel like in today's day and age, obviously no need to go down this rabbit hole, but another perk of it is like there's so many people who they're in a show or a movie that you really like, and then they do like weird things later down the road, and it changes how you view these movies because it's like they're a flawed human being versus like an anime character that literally can't do anything wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's one of the things I wish that I seen in anime a little bit more is like ruthlessness.
yeah,
Like for Game of Thrones, like try not to spoil a 10-year-old
yeah,
show, but like they're not afraid to just kill main characters and like progress the story through that.
yeah.
And I wish anime had a little bit more like
Yep.
ruthlessness like that, so that like you actually feel like there's some kind of stakes.
Dude, thank you. I love that so much. That is like been one of my biggest pain points for so many different shows. It's like why I have to watch like slightly more mature ones. Like even um what is it? Like Jujutsu Kaisen even. I really really like Jujutsu Kaisen because of the way they just straight up kill characters. Like I don't,
Oh,
I don't
I
know
love
if
to
you've
hear that.
seen
That
that
has to
one.
be one that I have to check out then.
Dude, no, it's like without spoiling it, like they get you attached to a character that's part of like the core three, and then or like they show you all these characters the first season, 2 seasons, and then it's like it's like the second half of the second season, they kill like 6 of the main characters, like just
I love
gone.
that.
And
That's
yeah,
what I
no,
like
I
to hear.
agree. I agree. It's so well done. If they can do it right and it's not just like random, like it's just so well done to where like you're so sad that they're gone, but it's not like, oh no, you sacrifice yourself, bye. It's like you watch them die. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
dark, dude. Like it really
Well, in
it's
order for
good
me to
though.
get like truly invested into like some kind of like problem that like the show is having, like the main characters are having, I have to know that there's a chance that they're not going to come out of it. For me,
Yeah.
like for in order for me to like suspend disbelief that like something bad can happen, it's like something bad has to be able to happen.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Attack on Titan. Like I don't know if you've seen it,
Hmm.
but there's like a part where like one of the characters like seems to die, but like you can almost just tell that they're not going to because of like just how
Yeah.
important this character is. And I
Yeah.
wish that it was just like I wish there was more to it.
No, yeah, it's like just let the character die and move on from it. Like if anything, it gives you more of a motive to invest in, you know?
Yeah. Because then
But
like when
yeah.
you're watching fights in the future, you're like, ah, no, everybody's safe. Like there's almost no point of watching this. It's just
Yeah. Like you know what's gonna happen. You know they're gonna win, and then they're all gonna go eat ramen somewhere.
yeah.
It's like, come on, guys. But no, I totally get that. But it's definitely nice to kind of find those ones that have a lot more like almost realistic, um, like kind of like real, like they show more of like a realistic side of life. It's like sometimes things don't end positively. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
lot of times they end negatively. So like having that and knowing that that's a possibility in and of itself is like pretty fun, or it feels more real.
Yeah, like actually having some worry while you're watching it, right? Like most of the time,
Yeah,
like if you expect everything to be okay, then like it's you don't care about like any like little things that could happen.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I just realized I have completely talked your ear off for over an hour. But I seriously, like, I've had a very, very fun time with it. Go ahead and plug your socials. What are some of the projects you're working on, your podcast? How can people find you? Obviously, I'll leave stuff in the description, but like,
Yeah.
just go ahead and plug yourself.
You can find me at twitch.tv/frauts, Frauts. YouTube is at the same thing. It might be Frautsy, one of the two. We're right now streaming every day, uh, trying to fight in Shiny Wars, trying to get those black Charizard wings any way I can.
Yes, sir.
And then on YouTube right now, obviously I'm working on another podcast as well, so you can catch if you're still shiny hunting right now and looking for something else to watch. There'll be 2 podcasts up on my channel right now. More coming soon. I think I'm probably going to put them out every Sunday. And then as in terms of content, I've started looking at like how to shiny hunt certain Pokemon. Like my last one was like how to shiny hunt all of the dragons in PokeMMO. And I think I'm going to continue to do some of that with other types or other types of collections that you can get. And yeah, you can catch me at those 2 spots. I'll be there pretty much most of the time.
All right. Thank you again to Frauts for his time and for all of the fun we had. Honestly, I was talking to him. It honestly felt more like shooting the shit than it did sitting down actually like recording a podcast. So very good time with him. Looking forward to more podcast episodes and content from him as well. Let's get right into the catch events of the week. Now, up first, we have one called Why Not Try Your Luck. This is held by Dawn, and this one is going to be super, super fun to be at because you can get a gift shiny Wynaut at level 5 with your choice of nature, 2 moves, and 3 selectable IVs. Now, shiny Wobbuffet is easy to get, however, you would have to breed it down, making it a little bit more difficult to get. But shiny Wynaut is a very, very cute Pokemon, very great shiny, and this one will take place Wednesday, the 14th of August at 16 UTC. So make sure to check that one out. But the big hitter this week, all right, like why not's a good one, but the big hitter this week is called Is There a Monster in This Lake? Which will be taking place on Sunday on the 18th of August at 6 p.m. UTC. This one is crazy because you are going to be catching Lapras in Icefall Cave for the chance to get a gift shiny Lapras. Now, this is one of the best catch events prizes that I personally have ever seen. You also do get your choice of nature, 2 moves, 3 selectable IVs, and 1000 RP. So very, very good prize. Basically $10 of in-game currency and a shiny Lapras, which is a monster A group and a very hard one that you would have to hunt on your own. So please be here. This is going to totally be worth it. We're very, very excited. I believe Des Bruno is hosting this one, so make sure to give him some love too. All right, let's move on to the featured media of the week. And first, we are going to have the forum post of the week, which is called Route 10's Art Shop for You and Your Poke MMO Follower. This is a really, really cool idea. And I love the art style that this person uses. Their name is Route 10, which I thought was pretty funny. And they basically offer a service where you can submit a photo of your character and provide Pokeyen, and they will draw that character in kind of like almost like a chibi Bomberman type style is the way I kind of describe it. But some of these are so fantastic and look really good and really kind of quirky in a weird way. Like it has a very, very signature kind of chibi style to it. So if you're looking to stand out on the PokeMMO forums or just need a new Discord profile, please check them out. Moving on to the featured YouTube video of the week, we're actually going to be, I know I'll stop meat writing, okay, but we're going to go back to Jinxed Boone. He was our guest last week. He's a phenomenal creator, and he has a YouTube video called Sweep Unova in under 3 hours with 1 Pokemon. This video was made multiple months ago. However, I used it yesterday and the day before, and the Porygon that he shows off here, as well as the build and the written guide, is phenomenal. It's so good, and it really, if you're looking to get into Lepa berries, or you're just looking to speedrun Unova, or pretty much any region on an alt account, go check out this video. Super, super helpful. Thank you, Jinx Boone. But yeah, that is going to be everything for this episode of the PokeMMO podcast. Again, I really do appreciate all of you guys for sticking it out week to week. And then we should have a fun guest for next week too, so you can look forward to that. But again, leave comments on what you guys thought of the episode. Let me know how I can improve it for you, so that way you can continue enjoying this every single week. And let's, I guess, look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.